Have you ever had a bad game? Well, for me, this was that game. Since joining Corby United 3 years ago, there hasn't really been a day where I'd hold my hands up and say, yeah, I had a bad game. But today was that day. You see, this season, we've been thrown into a higher division. Tougher teams, tougher games. But even with the tougher challenge, that doesn't mean playing poorly is acceptable. We either rise to meet this test or let it break us. Either way, what I can promise you is, we will fight for this win. And by full time, you'll understand the full story. But that story begins with the referee's whistle.
Let's go now, boys.
With our third league game and now our second home game of the season now underway, it was crucial to start off on the right foot. And so, from the very first whistle, communication became vital, setting the tone for what was to come.
Ball in. Yes, guys, man on now. Let's start. Yes, guys. Time.
All of this shouting might seem unnecessary to some, but for us, it was crucial because we wanted to build on our strong start, and this had been a key talking point at the end of last week's match.
Grind out a win. That takes heart, determination, and it's a habit. We spoke about it during the week. Big game Tuesday, and we have a fantastic squad. Look, let's look forward to Tuesday. We're going to have to work as hard, and we're going to finish really stronger than the start.
And that was certainly the plan, to finish stronger than we had in the previous 2 games, and hopefully see ourselves in a good position on the table by full time. But that required a win today, and a win begins with a solid defence, and so we had to assert control over our final third from the very start. But winning the ball in defence wasn't the only battle happening on the field, as moments later, Joe surged down the wing with intent, drove past our backline and earned us a corner. And that encouragement was more than justified, because we all knew that earning a corner this early in the game was a promising sign, because it was an opportunity to seize an early lead. And so, with this in mind, Moss screamed for the ball short from Daz.
Hey, Moss, that's fucking super.
Now, at first glance, it seemed like Moss had been the one to score from the cross, and that's who we rallied around, congratulating him for the delivery. But as it turned out, it was Joe who had gotten the final touch inside the box. Nevertheless, a goal was a goal, and we were now setting our sights on the next objective, maintaining, if not extending, our lead.
Let's go again, fellas! Let's go again!
But before we could even let the thought of going again settle in our minds, that aim was shattered. And you know what? It was stupid. I'll hold my hands up and say, I should have done better here. When the ball was lofted over the top, at first, it didn't seem like I was going to make it. But still, I committed, because I wanted to give the defender that security, whether to head it back or pass it safely to me. But, as the ball drew closer, I realised I should have been shouting away, alongside with the usual man-on call, as it would have signalled the urgency of the situation, giving my defender a clear choice to get rid. It's a tricky one, but I know I could have, and should have, done better. What do you think? What would you have done in my place?
That was my fault. Check going about it. I should have called it away.
Anyway, it was done. There was no changing what had already happened. And if we wanted to win this game, dwelling on past mistakes wasn't going to help us at all. We had to shift our focus to the present moment, searching for ways to regain our lead. And, as fortune would have it, that opportunity came almost immediately. Now, as for this cheering, this ball long was intended for Ryan to chase down. However, fortunately, the defender managed to get ahead on it, redirecting the ball perfectly into Ryan's path. And let me tell you, he finished it superbly. And because of this, he deserved the lion's share of the praise.
Hey Ryan, that's a super finish. Well done. Jump now, boys. Let's go again. Let's use that.
And with the referee signalling the restart after we reclaimed our lead, we understood that we had to elevate our performance if we wanted to secure the victory. It was time to take charge and lead from the back, ensuring that our defensive efforts matched our attacking ambitions.
Yes, Moss, again.
And again we went, searching for another opportunity to extend our lead. For a single goal margin would not be enough in our quest for 3 vital points. But Bob and Ryan, in particular, seemed acutely aware of this.
Man on! Watch up! Man on!
Now our celebration here was well deserved, for Bob had orchestrated a masterful play, skillfully manoeuvring the ball in midfield before threading it through to Ryan, who had finished with finesse, granting us the 2-goal cushion we had longed for.
Hey Ryan, that's a super finish, well done. Hey Bob, that's brilliant Bob, well done.
However, even with this advantage, we knew this battle was far from over.
Let's go again team, let's go again Ryan, let's go again lads.
And so we pressed on, fueled by our 2-goal lead and the promise of 3 points on the horizon. Yet, as fate would have it, this advantage would prove to be fleeting, as we soon discovered that our opponents were not ready to concede defeat just yet.
Away! Hold lad, Mass, beware Mass. Away! My man, guys.
Now, we were visibly frustrated with how the game was unfolding. It was the second time in the first half that we had conceded shortly after scoring. But, in fairness, this was likely down to our opponent's sheer determination to keep the game within reach. They clearly wanted to win just as much as we did, and their attacking threat grew stronger as a result.
Winner. You get the... Gotta get that right. Hey, hold guys, hold. Again. Go here! Man. Boys, get in front of him!
But their frustration was becoming evident as they struggled to carve out a clear-cut chance to level the game before half-time. All they needed was one opportunity to shift the momentum and go into the break on a positive note. And, as it turned out, it seemed like that elusive moment was about to arrive.
Hold. Now hold. Again, hold. Here if you need. Go! He shot the bed!
Luckily for us, their striker had, quote-unquote, shat the bed, squandering the golden opportunity. It was a huge relief for us, as it meant our lead remained intact heading into the break. And the whistle signalled a much-needed reprieve for us. Despite leading the game, our opponents had shown real determination towards the end of the half, and it was clear that their fight would carry into the second. This half-time break was crucial. It was our chance to regroup, reassess, and prepare for the challenge that awaited us in the next 45 minutes.
The nature of our performance in the first half, not doing enough. No surprise that they scored a couple of goals. When we play, we dominate the game, but we need to start working harder, a lot harder.
And it was true. If we wanted to win this game, we had to work harder. But we are not the only ones who could work harder. We're aiming to hit 40,000 subscribers on the channel, and that can only be done with your help. So play your part, hit that subscribe button, and like the video for good luck, because we were definitely going to need it going into this half. Me, more than anyone else.
Yes boys.
And the communication was essential heading into the second half, because when communication falters, so does alertness. But thankfully, we all seem to be staying on top of it.
Hold. Yes, first, on if you need.
But the time we had to calmly play the ball around the back and ping it wide wasn't going to last, as Newport, still trailing by a goal, were determined to bring the score level.
Boss, yes, back post, yeah. Away! Again. Watch up. Ed, be aware, Ed. Watch that ball coming in. Yes, show.
And we were showing encouraging signs of defensive stability early on. However, these promising signs started to deteriorate rapidly.
Keeper! Going backwards, well on.
Despite the encouraging words from the lads, this was a bad mistake, and it could have easily led to a goal if it weren't for Moss's clearance. What had happened was, I misjudged the ball and ended up flapping at it instead of catching it. Simply not good enough. But, despite my errors at the back, our attack remained relentless in their pursuit of extending our lead. And we were showing promising signs in our final third early on, but that didn't mean our communication could afford to drop.
Jump, hey, hold, Daz, hold, let's stand. Hey, Roy, drop in, Roy, stand over, Roy, hey, Roy, face the ball.
And that same level of communication carried over into our defensive duties.
Wait, let's back again, Joe, again, check, we're going to do that, let's go, hold, watch the ball, fast. Let's check.
But even with our level of organisation, communication and alertness, the mistakes from this point on started to multiply. Now, even though it was praised at the time, in my eyes, my effort to clear the ball simply wasn't good enough. It didn't travel far enough and landed in a dangerous area. Luckily, Bob was there to clear it. Looking back, it was tough to fully commit with Daz in the way, as the last thing I wanted was to injure one of our own. Still, I should have been more commanding in that situation and timed it better. Regardless, the lads still didn't let my mistakes affect their game. And the shouting here was necessary in that moment, as we needed to ensure we were getting the fouls we deserved, especially in dangerous areas where losing possession could put us in serious trouble. We all understood the importance of keeping the ball, but also keeping the ball away from our goals.
Yes, hold us. Wait, go. Show, boys, show. Dara. Sean. Wait, hold him. Hold.
Now, I'd say we were quite fortunate not to see that effort ruffle the back of the net, given how gnarly wide it went. These are the fine margins between securing 3 points and walking away with anything less. Yet, their attack were showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon.
Hold. Malano. Again, Bob. Yes, Bob. Hold, Bob. Hold, Bob. Away. Yes.
Our defence was shining once again, showing real promise that we weren't going to concede. However, I couldn't say the same for everyone.
Away! Watch up! Malano, Sean!
Now, looking back, I have no idea why I decided to punch the ball when I should have caught it. I think I misjudged it again and found myself out of position, but still, that's no excuse. The mistakes were piling up, and I knew it would only take one slip up to let our opponents capitalise, because our opponent's relentless attack wasn't stopping.
Stand over it, Bob! Ed, stand over it! Stand over the wall! Ed, in the wall! Ed, get in the wall! Ed, you're organising this wall! You're organising the wall, right? There, hold it. Yes, be ready.
Now, forget the last punch. This one, I definitely should have caught. I think what had happened was my focus was still on setting the wall after the referee's whistle, so I wasn't fully dialed in. But still, that's no excuse. I should have been ready and caught it. It wasn't good enough for me because this marked my 4th consecutive mistake in this half alone. And unfortunately, it didn't stop there.
Chief! Joe, watch the switch!
Now here, fortunately, our defence managed to deal with this situation, but it could have easily cost us our lead. You see, I had positioned myself to intercept the cross or ball to their forward, but at that point, the accumulation of mistakes and the relentless pressure from their attacks had clearly gotten into my head. It's easy now, looking back, to analyse and see where I went wrong, but in the moment, I wasn't doing that. I let the chaos get to me, and it only made things more difficult.
Watch out, boys! Face up first, face the ball! Check, in here, check! No, you go. I4. Away! Let's go! Yes, backers!
Now, at the time, I was being praised, given how little time was left and the fact all we wanted was to get the ball out. But, in my eyes, it was another instance of just not good enough. I could have and should have done better here. This once again could have cost us the 3 points that we desired. With only minutes left, it's the only thing that we wanted. You could see that in the way that the lads were covering for my mistakes with their defensive efforts. And with the clock ticking down, turning defense into offense, they funneled that same determination of not conceding into our attack, pushing forward to secure the win. Thankfully, as you can tell from our celebrations, we were both overjoyed and relieved to have scored in the dying moments of the game. That goal likely secured our hard-fought 3 points, putting us into 2nd place at the time of recording. However, just because we got the win today doesn't mean everything was sunshine and roses. Winning a game doesn't always mean you've played well, just as losing a game doesn't mean you performed poorly. Today, our victory has somewhat overshadowed my poor performance. There were moments in the game where I should have done better, times when I could have caught got the ball, communicated more effectively, or prevented their goal. But the reality is, these things happen. We all have games or moments where we fall short. What matters most is accepting that, reflecting on what went wrong, and using those lessons to improve. The key is to learn from your mistakes so you can avoid them reoccurring in the future. Because the last thing I wanted was to repeat today's performance in next week's crucial game. Today, I had a bad game, but that's okay, because I'll learn from it. And thanks to the lads, I don't have a loss hanging over my head. As always, don't forget, you have a great choice of videos. Thank you for being here.
Yeah! Come on.